After visiting Aruba twice, we have learned some travel hacks that can make your trip even better.
So here are the 7 tips you need to know before visiting Aruba.
Tip number 7, research restaurants before you go.
Doing a quick Google search will save you a lot of money. A lot of restaurants in Aruba have service charges and can be quite pricey. By doing a Google search, you can look at their menu, you can look at their reviews, and be able to see exactly what it's gonna cost before you go.
100%, especially in the Palm Beach area, we found that a lot of those restaurants did have service charges. So if you look to more local restaurants, then you can kind of avoid those tourist traps, as we call them, because they're unexpected charges that you are not expected to face. And they will also ask you for gratuity on top of that service charge, so just beware. One of the cheaper restaurants we found was a great value and it had great tasting food, was in the main area of Arendjestad, and the restaurant was called Don Jacinto. It was a Colombian restaurant and the food was absolutely delicious.
But what we also find is not every single restaurant in Palm Beach is super pricey. This trip to Aruba, we did a lot more research prior to going into the restaurants, and that helped us save a lot of money.
We did avoid some restaurants that we knew had a service charge included, but we did go to 2 restaurants that had a service charge. One of them was Kaya House in the downtown Palm Beach area. It was very delicious and the service was actually great, but it did include the service charge, and they did ask for a tip on top of that after. The next service charge we encountered was at a beach restaurant at the Manchibo Beach Resort. The service there was okay, but the food was absolutely delicious.
The best chicken salad I had in Aruba. Tip number 6, bring a reusable water bottle.
Yes, we definitely recommend to bring a reusable water bottle. We both brought one and we used it our whole trip. The water in Aruba from the tap is extremely safe and clean, and it is also very good to drink. Probably the best tap water I've had on all of my vacation trips. The water is crisp and there's no odor or odd taste to it. It can definitely save you a lot of money drinking tap water versus going and buying bottles. One thing that we did though is we went and we bought a big jug of water. We drank that and then we would just fill it up from the tap, leave it in the fridge overnight so it was cool in the morning, and then take that with us to the beach along with our reusable water bottles. That way we can just refill and save money and stay hydrated on the beach as well.
Also, if you bring your reusable water bottle to a restaurant, they will fill it up too. So if you don't have any water left over after a long beach day, once you go to the restaurant, bring in your water bottle and you can ask them to fill it with ice and water.
And that is one of our main tips so that you can save some money and stay hydrated on vacation.
Tip number 5, book your Airbnb early.
Yes, we definitely recommend booking early, and when we say early, I'm talking about 3 to 6 months out if possible for you. The first time we went to Aruba, we booked about 3 weeks out, and it was December, beginning of December, so it was not as busy as the time we went this time. This time around, we booked 3 weeks out, and it was end of February, and it seemed to be a lot more challenging. Prices were also a lot higher, and the availability was very slim. We actually had to split up our Airbnb the second time around over 3 different stays, just because availability wasn't there to stay at one for the amount of time we were staying there for. So we did 2 Airbnbs, luckily on the same property, and then we had a 3rd Airbnb in a different area. But the first time we were there, we were able to stay in one location the whole time for a lot less.
Keep in mind that February is high season and one of the busiest times on the island.
We definitely noticed that when we got there. Everywhere we went was a lot more busy.
We highly suggest booking an Airbnb as it will be a lot more cost effective than doing an all-inclusive hotel.
Or even if your hotel is not all-inclusive, the nightly prices for hotels are very expensive. So for the best value, try to find yourself an Airbnb.
Also, another great tip is if you can find yourself an Airbnb very close to Palm Beach where you can walk, that will save you also a lot of 1, travel time, and 2, money.
Walking is the most convenient way to get down to Palm Beach Strip. You don't have to worry about parking because the parking lots are very full.
They are, yeah, and very busy. And sometimes there's traffic in the night too. So when we're walking, we can get quicker and further than some cars.
Definitely. Tip number 4 Explore beaches outside of Palm Beach.
There are so many gorgeous beaches on the island that are not very far from Palm Beach. There is Arashi Beach, there's Baby Beach, there's Eagle Beach. Those are just a few to name, and they are gorgeous and they are way less crowded than Palm Beach.
Yes, the vibe at Eagle Beach, one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, is amazing. There's huge sand and the water is nice and swimmable. It's definitely a great vibe. Arashi Beach seemed to be a more natural and remote feeling, and the water was also very swimmable, very clear, and both of those beaches are only about 5 to 8 minutes away from Palm Beach. There's also Manchibo Beach, which is just next to Eagle Beach. It's accessible through the Manchibo Beach Resort. You just go into the side of the resort and you can access a beach there. It's very similar to Eagle Beach in terms of how big the sand is, but it is much more wavy. It's also much less busy. So if you want that more secluded vibe, that's a great beach to go to, and that is just next to Eagle Beach. Then there is Baby Beach, and Baby Beach is about a 40-minute drive from the Palm Beach area, but it is definitely worth the drive because it is so beautiful. The water is so calm. You can get two different experiences because one area is a bit more wavy, the other area is more like a nice bathtub, and they also do have 2 beach restaurants. Actually, I think there's 3 beach restaurants just nearby, and it's nice to go to them.
It's so worth the drive. The drive is so scenic, it's beautiful. You cross majority of the island, and it's a beautiful lagoon. It's a totally different experience, a totally different vibe than the other beaches. So I would say a day trip out to Baby Beach is definitely worth it.
100%. Also, if you're thinking about washrooms, they do have a public washroom now set up at Baby Beach, as well as a public washroom set up at Eagle Beach, and both of those were free with the option to tip. There's a paid washroom at Arashi Beach right by the beach bar that they have over there as well. There's also some other more remote beaches like Mango Halto Beach. That's one beach that we quickly explored. We didn't spend too much time on it, but we did go down there for sunset and the views were beautiful. It's a lot more rocky and a lot more natural. There was a lot of locals enjoying the time there we seen, and we also enjoyed the views and the vibes. Tip number 3, stop at Superfood for coffee, drinks, and snacks.
Definitely buy some groceries. That will save you so much money. If you're buying coffee every single day and multiple times a day, you can spend up to $50 USD. So why not save that money by purchasing coffee at the grocery store and breakfast foods and also snacks. That's what Michael and I did. We purchased snacks for the beach. We always cooked our breakfast in the morning because it was very quick and very inexpensive, and we purchased our coffee majority at the grocery store. Yes, we did enjoy some lattes and things at some cafes and some beach restaurants, but that was to a limit to save lots of money.
You can also grab your alcoholic beverages at the grocery store versus just buying all your drinks outside, because cocktails can be $15 to $25 on the beach or even at the restaurants. So buying at the grocery store is a great way to save money. Also utilizing happy hours. There's going to be happy hours all over at different restaurants, different beach bars. We took advantage of several happy hours where drinks were either 2 for 1, 40% off, however you may see it, but it is a great way to save money because the same drink just 50 minutes later is going to cost you double the money.
Also, an amazing part of this island is you can carry your drinks out in public. That's what we did sometimes prior to a restaurant or prior to a bar or a club. We would walk with our drinks, drink it, and then go into the bar, go into the club, and just enjoy our night by dancing.
It's pretty interesting. That's one thing you see a lot of people do is walk around with their drinks, and it seems like a great vibe. Obviously, be responsible, but it seems like that's what a lot of people did enjoy on the island.
Tip number 2, and I can't say it loud enough, rent a car to explore the island.
That is one of the best tips we can give you. The island of Aruba is very small, so it is easily accessible by car. Having a rental car is much more effective in terms of moving around on your own schedule and in terms of saving money. Taxis in Aruba can be expensive and they can add up with every short trip that you take, and getting a rental car is a way to avoid that fee. You'll end up having a much better time as you can drive to different beaches, different restaurants. There is free parking all over Aruba, so you really don't need to spend any money on parking. And because the island is also very small, you don't spend too much money on gas. We had a mid-sized sedan and we only filled up right at the end before we had to drop off the car, and that was for a 10-night trip. So we were able to travel to Baby Beach, we were able to travel to all the other beaches, all the other restaurants. We traveled to the Palm Beach Strip multiple times from our Airbnb when it wasn't in walking distance, and it was very convenient and effective. And to be honest, the parking lots are very busy, but we seemed to get lucky a lot of the times that we went down there and we didn't have to wait too long to find a parking spot. So I definitely recommend renting a car. And when it comes to renting a car, like we mentioned, try to book it early and you will not have a bad time at all. Also, when renting a car, I would recommend using a local company and using their airport shuttle service. So they will pick you up from the airport. A lot of the rental car companies are just about 5 minutes away. So they'll pick you up at the airport, they'll drive you to their establishment, and you'll fill out some paperwork and you'll be out within 5 to 10 minutes and on the way to your accommodation. It is cheaper and the cars are typically in better shape and newer than the cars that you would get from the airport itself.
They will also drop you back off the airport once you're done with the car and you're ready to go fly home. They will drop you right directly to the airport. That's all included in their fee of renting a car. Also, Aruba is one of the safest islands in the Caribbean, so renting a car, you'll never have any trouble whatsoever. Renting a car is the most authentic experience, and every time we go to Aruba, we will always rent a car.
We have now made it to our last and final tip, the most important tip we can give you that you need to know before you go to Aruba.
Tip number 1, rent your beach chairs and umbrella from local vendors.
This is the ultimate Aruba travel hack. On the first trip, our Airbnb had beach chairs, so we took advantage of that and we just had to rent the umbrella for the week, which cost us about $60 USD. On the second trip, our Airbnb also had chairs, but they were more of the high camping style chairs, and we wanted the low beach chairs, so we ended up renting an umbrella and beach chairs as well. We used the same vendor for the umbrella both times, but for the beach chairs we used a different vendor just because the second vendor that we used didn't have availability for the umbrella for the whole week. But to be honest, the second vendor was cheaper. The whole week umbrella would have been $40 USD for the rental, and our beach chairs only costed $18 each for the week. So for $36, we had beach chairs for the week, and for $65 this time, we had an umbrella for the week as well. And when I say week, we were there for longer than a week, so it was about 10 nights, and we were able to have the rentals for most of our trip.
Yes, that is the ultimate hack, because if you were to rent beach chairs and an umbrella daily, depending on which beach you're at, you're gonna roughly spend around 50 to 70 USD dollars just for one time use. So if you wanna save lots of money, definitely get your beach chairs and your umbrella for the week, ready, rented out. And again, reach out to your vendors prior to. Again, with Michael and I's current trip that we just went on, we did a lot of last minute planning. But if you plan accordingly and ahead of time, you can definitely find vendors that are typically more cheaper than other vendors and book it with them nice and early.
If you'd like to know who we used, I'll definitely leave it down below. If you drop me a comment and ask, I can share that information with you. Having the rentals for ourselves made it super convenient to set up on any beach we wanted at any time. Also, keep in mind the beaches in Aruba are very busy, so by getting there early, you can actually get prime real estate and set your umbrella up in the best spot like we did most of the days.
Right, and honestly, when you already rent your umbrella prior to and your beach chairs, you can also beach hop, right? So if you go there early morning to one beach and you want to leave by mid-afternoon and go somewhere else, then you can feel free to do so, as opposed to feeling stuck because you spent so much money on one umbrella and you want to really take advantage of the whole day.
That's a very good point.
And to be honest, Michael and me, we didn't beach hop. We were planning to beach hop during the day and go to a few different beaches, but almost every single day we went to a different beach, so we had enough of beach hopping. But that also didn't make me feel reserved to have to stay there the whole day. There were times where we left a little bit earlier because we were just tired of the sun and the beach, or we had early reservations for dinner, so we decided to pick up and leave. But it never felt like, oh no, we're losing money, or oh no, we really have to stay here. So it's very flexible, it's convenient, and that's what a vacation should be.
Yes. Also, getting there earlier in the morning, we were there before most of the beach vendors actually set up their umbrellas, so we were just moving on our own schedule, which was super awesome for our vacation.
And when we say early, it's not super early. It's like 9:30, maybe even 9:50. As long as it's before 10 o'clock, we found that we would find a great spot and we were able to set up in the perfect beach spot.
These are some of the travel hacks we learned from visiting Aruba twice. We hope these tips help you have a better experience when you visit the island.
And hopefully save some money. We see a lot of time on social media that people say Aruba is very expensive and you can't go unless you spend $10,000. That's very untrue. You'll also learn that from this video by these tips and these tricks. So enjoy the island. You don't have to break your wallet, and you'll definitely have a great time.
If you'd like to see more of our travel tips or content from Aruba, definitely check out our Aruba playlist linked down below. And at this time, we'd invite you to subscribe to our channel for more travel tips like this. Also, leave us a like and comment if you have any questions about anything you've seen in this video, and we'd be more than happy to get back to you.
We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.